everyone, and welcome to Modus 2 of the Undergraduate Impact Program Mentorship with Chris Inspires Care Foundation. And I'm thrilled to have you on board with me. In these modules, we will be considering productivity and its intricacies, which include focus, discipline, and academic success. I am going to be your facilitator through this journey. The course is going to run for 3 weeks, and it's aimed at producing a better, more efficient, and productive version of yourself. If you have a pen and a paper, of which I advise you do, here is the course content. For week 1, we'll be considering understanding productivity and the myth of multitasking. Week 2, we will be focusing on strengthening your attention span in a distracted world. Week 3, we'll be considering overcoming procrastination and mastering time management. And week 4, we will be considering how to achieve academic success, its strategies, habits, and mindsets. So let's go into the topic of today: understanding productivity and the myth of multitasking. Productivity cuts across every area of life, be it school, career, business, leadership, and even your personal growth. Let me start by asking a simple question. Have you ever had a very busy day, but at the end of the day, you felt like nothing meaningful was actually achieved? That right there is where this conversation begins. So what is productivity? Productivity is not being busy or getting yourself worn out. Neither is it you having a full schedule. Productivity is the ability to produce meaningful results with intentional use of time, energy, and attention. If you are busy but not producing meaningful results, you're being active, not productive. And if you're always getting yourself worn out and overwhelmed but not making progress, you're just being occupied and not being productive. Productivity is about making progress towards what really matters. Now we want to look at what productivity is and what it is not in few highlights. Productivity is you completing important tasks. It's important to not just start your tasks, but actually finish them. Productivity is you moving closer to a defined goal. It's also about you producing quality of work, using your peak energy wisely, and doing fewer things better. We'll go into details later. Now, productivity is not working 12 hours with no clear outcome, or attending meetings without results, or starting many things and finishing none. And the last one is a bit funny, but it's looking serious without producing results. One of the highlights of productivity or being productive is that you are actually producing results. The fact that you got home late feeling all stressed and worn out doesn't mean you had a productive day, actually. One of the major highlights of the concept of productivity is the word attention. You cannot be productive if you lack the ability to focus and pay attention. Attention is the gateway to productivity. Where your attention goes, your output follows. If your attention is scattered, your results will be scattered as well. And this brings us to something most people misunderstand, and it's called the myth of multitasking. Many people say, I'm good at multitasking, and they confuse that for being productive. Research, however, has shown that the human brain does not perform multiple attention-demanding tasks at the same time. Please note the word attention-demanding tasks. Your brain rather switches rapidly between them. So what is multitasking? Multitasking is the act of handling multiple tasks or information streams either simultaneously or in rapid successions, aiming to increase efficiency. But here's the truth. What we call multitasking is actually task switching, and task switching reduces cognitive efficiency. And every time you switch tasks, you're more likely to make more mistakes, have a reduced focus, have a low quality learning time, and have mental fatigue. Now, it's okay to multitask when the task does not require a level of attention or focus, or when your brain has already automated such tasks. You can walk and listen to music at the same time. That's fine. But you cannot study and have conversations online at the same time without quality drop. And mind you, your brain was not designed for consistent switching. Every interruption resets your focus, and rebuilding deep focus takes time. And now you may be wondering, if productivity is about producing meaningful results through intentional actions, how then do I become productive? Or what can I do to be productive in my academics and in every sphere of life? And I'm going to list out several practical tips that's going to help you in this regard. And the first is to define what matters. Honestly, if everything is important, then nothing is important. You have to clarify what matters to you, and clarity increases productivity. Before your day begins, ask yourself, what are the 1 to 3 most important things that I must do today? Emphasis on the word must. Not 10 things, not 20, just 3 or 4 as the case may be. The second thing you should consider is performing a single task at high value work. Now, you should work at focus blocks, a goal at a time, a task at a time, one direction at a time. The third thing you want to consider is to reduce task switching. You know how you move from one tab to another, from your book to your notifications, and just distracting yourself. You want to reduce that if you want to be more productive. Now, the first thing you should consider is to work at your peak point. Not every hour is equal. Identify when your mind is sharpest and do your most demanding work at that time. The fifth thing you should consider is measuring your output, not your hours. But many times you might want to say, okay, I read for 5 hours, but how productive was it? Productivity is measured by results, not by your exhaustion or the amount of time you spent. Now, to the final thoughts on productivity. Remember that productivity is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters consistently and well. It is not about speed. It's about direction. When you control your attention, reduce unnecessary switchings, and focus on meaningful outputs, you will not only become more productive, you will become more effective in life. And that is the real goal. And that will be all for today. And next week, we will be considering a very solid point for our generation, and that is strengthening your attention span in a distracted world. Until next time, bye for now.